narration took at least 4 hours. And very, not emotional, because Shera is emotional, but he doesn't show it. It was a very detailed narration. Just like the film, like he says, Tom, then you will be cycling from your cottage to the school, and you will be crossing the vegetation, which will be very dense and full of the wildlife. This was the narration of the script, as if he was showing the visuals along with the, and he was doing it because he's correct, because in the film it is the visuals, and all that he talked about is in the film. So anyway, it took a long time to get through the narration, but the narration was riveting. Whether it's cinema or sound or editing, in the end, nothing should stand out. The film should, and in this, Shera has succeeded. The film is an entity on its own, and acting has become part of the film. So that way, I'm very happy.
हेलो सर प्लीज आगे ये उनको दे दो वो कर लेंगे लो टेक 2 आ जाओ शॉट 2 टेक 2 आप.
So the pain of the character, up to some extent, I understood. Also, I started out my life as a school teacher, and like this school had about 20 students. In the school I worked in, there were 4 students. So being with students, interacting with them was something which I could feel. And a little bit like the character in the film, I also basically like to be alone. So many things were very helpful in doing this character.
आज मैं तुम सबको एक कहानी सुनाऊंगा.
हाइट एड कर नहीं पाएंगे. वो कहाँ है लोग?
So there's a lot of teething problems, I can say, but throughout all of this, I could see that Shera was on to something very, very passionate and very, very different. And I said, okay, let's see what he does. And so this is how the whole thing began, but he kept on sort of pushing one thing again and again in his narration, that he says, Tom, there'll be a lot of silence in this film. A lot of silence, a lot of natural sounds. You know, the birds chirping and the water and the waves and a lot of silence. So I could understand that he was trying to tell me that tumhare dialogues isme zyada nahi hai. So but I got it, I understood. Through that long narration, it was very good because I realized that this was going to be the mood and the speed of the film also. So it was good. No, this was a conscious effort, and see, I didn't want this fellow to look like a hero. He is a hero in the truest sense of the word, but he shouldn't look like a hero. Now, it's the easiest thing in the world in a film like this. I was given 500 opportunities to look like a hero. All you have to do is sort of squint your eyes and look at the sea, and you look like a hero. So I had to consciously avoid doing that. So even that scene, that amazing scene when he's standing on the rock and the sea goes backwards, even then I'm very happy. The look that I give to just looking at the sea, and I've understood you. The mood in the bunker and that walking along the sand and, you know, calling out the names of the people in the school and everything. As an actor, I cannot say proud, I'm very happy with that sequence. It really, I think and that, if that didn't work, then the film was gone. Because the first time you see the old man is then, in the future, when he's lost his mind. The art direction chaps who made this amazing school that you see there. That's not a school, that in fact was like a restaurant which they converted into a school.
यहाँ कोरल रेड
And they had a workshop with the children. And the children are absolutely fantastic. And they were so natural in front of the camera.
वो तो नारियल घिसने का होता है अरे कौन गिरता है गिराओ नहीं चल जिसको जो जो आता है ना उससे हम कल सब प्रिपेयर करके लाने को बोलेंगे जिसको पोएम आता हो पोएम सुनाएगा जिसको
सर कल मुझे गुना मिल गया था अब वो नहीं आएगा
कहाँ मिला था?
Fortunately, the very first shots we took were when he comes back to the city. And that one lovely shot when he's cycling down and the jet flight takes off. That was the very first thing we shot. I always say about this film, Shera has used cinema. Instead of acting or instead of dialogues, he's used cinema to tell his story. And I think this is a tremendous credit to him. And cinema being sound or camera or the lighting, editing, he's used cinema. And that way he's a tremendous craftsman. In that scene when he takes TZ's head and he pulls it out of the ocean. Now, it is so difficult to do that because obviously the rest of the body is connected to her head. But in the film, when you see that head coming out of the sea, then we shot underwater with the most minimal equipment. It was very basic equipment we shot underwater with. It's when Shera obviously revealed that he was making a feature film for the first time. Actually, the moments were very, very few. And as you know, in the Film Institute, diploma films are made every year. You've made a diploma film, very, very beautiful diploma film. This to me is like an hour and a half diploma film. And that was the atmosphere. But it was very professional. It was not ke bhai, it was very professional. Each of the technicians knew their job very, very well. And with Tapan especially, and Tapan and I shared a fantastic relationship because his work is sensational in the film. But for a lot of those shots, I had to stand absolutely still for like 45 minutes while he did his lighting or whatever it was. And I knew that, I said, Tapan, you take your time. The sound. I mean, Dara would bore us to death because every time we'd finish the shot, we had to remain silent for another 15, 20 minutes while he took his boom and recorded all the different sounds. And we couldn't. So first of all, you had to be silent in the shot. And then after the shot, also for 15, 20 minutes, you had to be silent. But all these things, you can see and hear them on the screen, and that's what makes the film unique. You see, after I saw the film for the first time in Busan, and the response in Busan was fantastic, I realized, we're on to something. And the response in Busan, and then I went to two others, and then we went to this one in Breda, which is in Holland. This is the first time festival. And there the response was stunning. I waited 35 years for a film of mine in which I played the main character to be released in Bombay. So ये 35 साल की तपस्या थी, 35 साल, 3.5 साल नहीं. So this is, for me it was a real tapasya, and I very frankly never thought this film would get released. So I've done other films in which I played the main role, but unfortunately none of them got released in Bombay. So for me this was 35 years की तपस्या इस film में पूरी हुई. So for me the film is very, very special.